Good afternoon, everyone. It is Tuesday, December 1st, 2009. Not a whole lot of swell in the water right now. Do have something, though, headed our way by the end of the week. Looks like we're going to be seeing somewhat of a Santa Ana condition also Friday into Saturday. A little bit of northwest swell coming down our way, so I wanted to show you how that's all coming together, as well as a big change next week. We are looking at some swell hitting us, but from the west-northwest. Doesn't look like we're going to see clean conditions out of this, though. Looks like we're going to see rain out of it. Very large system also starting to form right now in the long-range models. It's holding a lot of promise for some sizable surf in around probably the 9th to the 10th time frame, probably later next week. But got to see how that all comes together. That's why I want to show you everything that's going on in the models to make this all happen. This is what's happening right now. Starting out looking at the wave analysis models, we can see a fairly large storm sitting up there by the Aleutians. The area in purple, that means those seas are over 30 feet in that fetch. That's at a very high latitude, though. That's a good distance from Southern California, but also at a very steep angle. Jet stream's been keeping that guy to the north very much so, but it looks like we'll be seeing something out of this then, building Friday into Saturday. But moving the models forward in time, we can see how this one didn't move on a very ideal trajectory, just stayed up in the Gulf of Alaska. Some of its fetch, though, being moving toward our area, but not that great. See a little blip, though, coming out of the western Pacific, something starting to form, growing over the next few days, so that's associated with a storm front that'll be headed our way. That's something we should be seeing some surf out of then early next week. Not an ideal system, nice trajectory on this, but not holding a lot of promise for bringing us a clean surf early next week. We see something else, though, really starting to build, though, coming out of the western Pacific in just a few days. This is out here on 106-hour models. Fairly large system, a little bit of purple, and it means 30-foot seas. Moving the models a little bit more forward in time, we can see a very large area of that purple. That's about 30 to 35-foot seas. And in that gray area that starts showing up here at about 132 hours out, that gray area means 42-foot seas. That's a very strong fetch. That would probably hit us around the 9th or the 10th. That could definitely give us some surf running a few feet overhead in Southern California, possibly even double overhead if the system were to keep moving on that same trajectory. Weather, though, is a concern as the jet stream, though, has changed to bring these type of swell-making systems toward our area. We can see that by analyzing the jet stream. Here's a real quick look at it. That very large area of blue, that's the jet stream. We can see a clear area near the America West toward the west coast of the United States. And that's because high pressure has been forcing that jet stream higher. Jet stream is our storm track, so swells that get formed in that portion of the Pacific follow that storm trajectory up toward the north. Compare that now, though, to just a few days away from now, and that jet stream is looking to make a beeline right to the California coast. So this will be early next week. This is taking a look at Monday's time frame. With that jet stream at such a lower latitude, storms would be driven better toward our coast, typical of what happens during the El Nino year, and of course during the winter in Southern California. We can get a good view of how the conditions are going to work out over the next week or so. Taking a look at the weather models and starting out here on the relative vorticity model, we can see in red that area of low pressure that has moved now off to the east. So high pressure is building into the area somewhat, but not a whole heck of a lot. We are going to see that build over the next few days. We see a lot of low pressure activity up in the Gulf, and of course that's associated with that swell we'll be seeing Friday into Saturday. Moving the models forward in time, we can see that high pressure will be moving into our area somewhat, especially here near the end of the week. This is Thursday time frame, and then looking out at Saturday time frame, we can see a large gradient, a strong gradient pushing down over California from the north to the south. It's a large area of low pressure, though, coming down over the continental United States, so that could have an effect. Got to see how that plays out over the next few days to have an effect on what would be our Santa Ana Friday into possibly Saturday. Then as we look out a little bit more forward in time, let's look at Sunday's time frame. With that jet stream that would be lowering, as shown previously, storms would then be lined up to start coming our way, and we can see a couple areas of red, and those are, of course, associated not with just the swells headed our way, but with also weather fronts that would be headed toward the California coast. We can see this clearly, too, on the precipitation models, where on this type of model, the red means heavy rain and green is lighter rain. We can see this is looking at Monday's time frame, where a lot of rain would be associated with that first front coming our way, associated with, of course, the swell on the 7th and 8th, and another band of precipitation riding behind it. Moving the models forward in time a little bit, we can see that by Monday afternoon time frame, we'd probably get pretty well soaked in around the entire California coast as a large area of precipitation moves over our area. And of course, another band moving in behind it with that other swell. Moving out a little bit more forward in time to around Tuesday time frame, we can see a lot of precipitation starting to pick up on that second band of energy. And of course, that would be associated with that larger west-northwest swell that we'd have potential to see on the 9th and 10th. So if that jet stream does stay low and allows for this type of pattern to happen, we could be in for some large swells, but of course a lot of bad weather at the same time. Nevertheless, swell is headed our way, and so this is taking a look at the wave chart for some of the west-facing breaks, showing northwest energy coming into Southern California over the next week or so. So we can see a little bit of northwest hitting us today on December the 1st, but that will be fading over the next couple of days. Not a whole lot, though, comes in by the end of the week, though a little bit of something comes in on Friday the 4th and builds then on Saturday the 5th, but not a whole heck of a lot out of that system. We can see, though, a big increase then happening early next week, but it looks like that could be accompanied by a lot of wind swell and rainy conditions. Got to see how that all plays out, as well as the possibility of seeing something then on the 9th and 10th. But that's a long ways away. Got to definitely watch that over the next few days. So it looks like we have to make a small sacrifice and serve for some much-needed rain to get out of this drought. Looks like we're definitely going to get rain next week. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when we're actually going to get rain. All models seem to be very confident that this is going to happen, and we are entering into an El Nino winter, so it's about typical this time of year that we'd start seeing that jet stream lower, and of course those western Pacific storms riding in that lower latitude jet stream, bringing us some surf, but also some possible weather and heavy precipitation. So got to see how that all plays together over the next few days. We are, though, looking at some smaller but cleaner surf by the end of the week. So Friday into Saturday, Friday seeing a bit of a Santa Ana, should see some cleaner conditions, smaller northwest swell. Monday, then, that swell should start jumping up. Could get even bigger than by the end of the week if we do get something out of that very large western Pacific storm that is being shown forming on the models. A little too early to call some of that today, though, but I'll stay on top of it. I'll be keeping you posted. You can always check out, too, my free site, wavecast.com. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, get you updates, and you can see what's going on. And it's going to be headed swell-wise toward a break near you. Also, if you want to be updated twice a day on what's breaking in Southern California, you can follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/wavecast. So until next time, take care, be safe, and smile in the lineup.